Welcome to Redbeard Radio. I'm Brian Keith, and we're talking today an app called RevenueJump. It's an app that's going to help you get your clients better results. And we're discussing this with Cory Snyder. You heard him in Redbeard Radio before in episode 14 about building successful partnerships, episode 90 about how to cultivate and protect your relationship with your spouse, and again, episode 107 on how to use partnerships to focus and grow your business. I have actually been out kayaking with Cory and can verify that he can kayak well enough to not capsize and die in Lake Washington. And if that's not good enough to listen to what he has to say, I don't know what is. Cory, welcome back for round 4 of Redbeard Radio.
Thank you so much for having me. I love being on Redbeard Radio and the conversations that we get to have and share with your audience. So yeah,
it's amazing. Now, RevenueJump, for folks who have not heard of this, what is the big problem that you are solving for businesses?
we are solving the issue that is become more apparent as the pandemic hit, and that is more people have moved to trusting online reviews almost as much as reviews given directly from friends and family. And so what we're solving specifically is reputation is kind of the first thing that we solve is your social proof and your reputation online. And so we solve for the easiness of your ability to automatically collect reviews, feedback from your customers, which we call testimonials, as well as drive revenue through collecting referrals. And so we solve those problems, just make it super easy for you to do that. As again, the pandemic has hit, the reviews and social proof has gone up more than 50%.
Now, there's apps out there that do this. Like I'm thinking about Thrive Ovation. That's a tool I like to use to collect testimonials. You can do things like after a person buys a thing, you can have the thank you page be a WordPress page that has a Thrive Ovation widget on there. It can collect the testimonial automatically. It can go display it on the website automatically. Why is it that people are moving from these DIY things like Thrive Ovation, which is fantastic and I love, and they're moving to RevenueJump?
Yeah, good question. Because this isn't necessarily a space that there's not a ton of people in it. Reputation.com and other products are out there that do similar to what we do. The difference is one, we work directly with our partners. We don't compete with our partners. We work directly with our agency partners to drive value through them. That's one. Two, the biggest difference between us and most of the solutions out there is we automate the collection of all of this. And so it's not just one direction. Right now, you're almost in a one-directional way, which is collecting reviews, and that's it. Our platform collects reviews, testimonials, and referrals. Our product is built to pull all of this information into one location for you to view. And so our customers can log into their account. They can see how many reviews have they collected over the amount of time. They can also set up follow-up sequences. So if they were to send a message to a customer asking for a review, it's not going to get that one-time thank you page that they close out. I'd be interested to see what the conversion rate is there. But we send out the follow-ups. So we send out up to 3 messages, driving them to this one specific message, which we have worked on for years and years to get the highest conversion rate. And once they click on that message, we then ask them a yes or no simple question. And if they say no, we take them to a dialog box. If they say yes, we then send them to the review sites. And so we have a little bit of control there as far as getting you the feedback you deserve if you didn't do a great job, and also getting the feedback if you did a great job. Now, it's not just based on a purchase either. And I think that's another missing opportunity there. If somebody transacts with you, that doesn't mean they're happy. They could love it. They could have, in that moment, 30 days later, they may not love it. And so we want to make sure that our customers are setting themselves up for success to get true feedback from their clients and get true social proof.
Hey, you want to do something a little bit risky?
Yeah.
Let's do a live build in theory, not in the actual app, but let's take my company, Lenders Online Training. I just bought it in the start of 2022, and we have a robust process for evaluations. After someone takes our 4 or 8 week class on tax return analysis, which involves courses, it involves live webinars every week, it involves case studies with individual review that you work on with our subject matter experts. The last thing you do before you get a certificate is you fill out an evaluation. So we ask our attendees a whole bunch of questions. And then we also do follow-up with the managers who paid to send the attendees from banks and credit unions into our system. So we have a huge pile, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these evaluations where we ask people all kinds of questions. If you were to have a magic wand and you were to go deploy RevenueJump into this company, let's talk about some of the specific things that we would do with RevenueJump to take us from a system where we're doing a great job at asking for feedback from the attendees right at the end of their experience with us, draw us all the way over to the automated heaven of referrals and everything being in one spot. And so I, as the owner of that company, can actually see what's going on. Where do we start?
Yeah, I love the fact that you guys are pushing them through a process and you're collecting a ton of information, and that's valid if you're putting them through a course, right? And you can even at the end of that course automate the collection of a review. So as soon as they fill out the course of those questions, drive them directly to a review, and then 30 days later, ask them for a referral, or 2 weeks later, ask them for a referral, and you can go down that process. In the middle of that process, if you're not collecting information, you can do the same thing. What we would consider on the testimonial side is you can create a survey, simply get it automated to send out that's connected to your process that you have already in play. That halfway through the process, you can say, how are we doing? And you can collect information that you can then showcase on your website. And so on your website already, you have raving reviews, which I love. I think that's great. We have a widget that you can put on your website where it's dynamic. And so you don't have to have these stagnant reviews. You can switch it to dynamic. And so they're up to date based on the actual reviews that you get versus who knows when these were collected 2 or 3 years ago. And so that's the other piece of the pie that you can also, you can kind of put into place is collecting feedback mid course. Right at the end, when you collect a bunch of information and feedback, ask them for that review, and then right again 30 days later or whatever timeline you pick, then ask them to push your program out to those people that they know to collect referrals.
Now, can I customize who gets that request to push? Because in my case, some of the folks in my system are the managers who send the clients or send the individual attendees, or they are buying the class for themselves. But there's a different class of attendee, which is the majority of them, where their manager, banks will go buy 30 seats at a time and get their whole team trained on how to do tax return analysis best by sending them all through Lenders Online training all at once. I don't want to be asking those 30 people, what other banks do you know? Like that's not kosher. I do want to ask the manager though, and if you buy a seat for Cory, I want to ask Cory, hey there, you say that you liked it, great. Who's another person you know? So I want to sort of have different buckets. Can I customize the follow-up buckets?
Yeah, we call them funnels, and you can have as many funnels as you want. You can automate those funnels, so you can have give an example by product. You can have asking referral or reviews by product. And the way that you do that, it's either automated through our integrations with Zapier, Keap, or ActiveCampaign, or you can simply do an import. So if you have a very specific dedicated list that you just want to market to that, you can do a one-off, you can import a list and you can send it out that way. And we also have, again, I mentioned Zapier, is we have an integration with Zapier. So you can automate it, or you can simply just do an import.
It's so interesting that we're doing this interview at this moment because I was discussing with my team last week about onboarding, how to create a better onboarding process, including after a person starts the class, that we have a system to get you from hello, how are you to now we have money in our hands and we have your people in the class. And we have a system for after the class is done, but during the class, I was thinking, what would a 5 out of 5 process look like for customer happiness? And I thought, we have the 4 or the 8-week version. In a perfect world, we would both check in with you when you're starting and when you're done, but also in the middle, because this is a complex topic. People can get lost. These people are all bankers. They're all working so many cases with making good loans. And so they're busy, and checking in halfway through and not just looking at, well, did you complete the last quiz, but how are you feeling? What questions are unanswered? Those kinds of questions in the middle of the procedure of delivering the thing that we sell. So can I use RevenueJump to go check in halfway through? And can I also divide that up per product? So if you bought the 4-week, I want to be pinging you 2 weeks in. If you bought the 8-week, I want to be pinging you 4 weeks in with the same set of questions. Can I do that?
You absolutely can. So you'd create the specific product, and again, depending on the way that you're doing it from an automation standpoint, let's say you're using Keap, you would just apply that tag midway through. And as soon as that tag does, it automatically sends out that specific request. And so, yes, and we recommend that. And that's one of the benefits of the testimonial piece of the pie for you specifically is you're getting direct feedback right in the middle of the process. So if you have somebody that's super unhappy, what review do you think they're going to give you? Right. And so if you can catch it ahead of time and you get that feedback, and also ties to an employee if you wanted to go all the way back to that, and you have the ability to kind of have that conversation and fix it before it gets to review stage, you're going to set yourself up for way more success. Not only that, you're getting feedback on that onboarding process and the flow of which you
Yeah.
put these people through your courses.
When I look at what I'm going to do with this company to take it to the next level, it already has a fantastic product. It's already the best in the country in terms of the content. And I think, well, where can I scale this company? Well, customer service is a big one, right?
Mm-hmm.
How can I make it so that anytime anyone interacts with our support team or our onboarding team or our customer delight team, that it is literally the best customer service experience they have ever had in their entire lives? That if I could do that in the banking industry, okay, there we go. We already have the best content. Now we have the best customer service. And then the other thing is that you mentioned referrals before. If I can have the very best referral service, or referral process in this company, we're already mostly a referral based business. Everyone already knows us because Linda's been doing this since 1978. So we have a lot of history there, but we don't have a system that is not in the hands of the founder. And that's a problem where the founder's done an amazing job at building this company. Obviously, been doing it for over 40 years, but we need a better system for gathering those referrals from all the happy clients that walk through our doors besides our current checking into people sometimes and these evaluations. But it's not a system really. So when you think
Mm-hmm.
about all the folks RevenueJump has worked with, where you say these people use this tool to the max and they created an amazing referral system that can be operated by people other than the experts who founded the company. What does that gold star referral system look like?
Yeah, and that's a good question. And to be clear, we don't want to give you just another platform. We want this to be integrated in your process. It's just ran behind the scenes and just continues to showcase the amazing work that you do. We work with lawyers, dentists, doctors, a lot of different individuals that are reliant on social proof. Give an example. Just this week, I Googled a muffler shop. And first thing that I look at is their 5-star rating or their 4-star rating, whatever it is. And then I look at the reviews and see, are they legit?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the world is turning, even all the way down to, I guarantee you, those that are using Amazon on this call, they're going to say, oh, of course I read reviews. Of course I look at the review ratings.
Yeah.
Well, over the last 2 years during this pandemic, there's a reason why e-commerce has shot through the roof and a lot more people are buying online. Well, with that means there's more people looking at reviews and looking at that, not only just for the brick and mortar businesses like your doctors, your dentists, your lawyers, things like that, but also other things that you happen to buy outside of that.
So what does it look like? What's our time frame? If someone hears this episode and they think, holy smokes, this is what I need, how long does it take from making that decision that they need to have that excellent review, testimonial, et cetera process, feedback process, and actually having all this stuff live?
Yeah, the great part about it is we've created a system that's very easy to use because we've kept the processes exactly the same. From testimonials to reviews to referrals, the entire process is 98% the same. And so the learning curve is super low. But once you log into RevenueJump, I have a full process, and so do our partners, that basically walk you through the step-by-step process. It takes you no more than probably 15 to 20 minutes to be up and running in the simplest way of saying, collect a review, collect a testimony, and collect a referral. It's very easy because it is, again, the same process throughout. And so once you learn the one process, you've actually learned the process for all of the other two. And then from there, we have, obviously support that you can access via RevenueJump, or you can access through your partner. But really, in 15 minutes, you could be up and running and collecting 5-star reviews.
So I have a client that sells a lot of Gumroad courses. This is
Yeah.
also the kind of thing where I could have an email go out from Gumroad that just asks people, a month later, instead of saying, hey, how's it going? It could be saying that, but from the RevenueJump system. So it's actually capturing that. And then if they like it, then send them off to go do the review. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah. And if they bought a specific product, you could be targeting them based on a
Okay.
product. So one of the things our customers do is Mother's Day is coming up. And so they'll go and they've collected Mother's Day, or they'll target specifically like Mother's Day type reviews. You bought this product specifically, that is for Mother's Day, and please give us a review. And so what happens is next year when Mother's Day comes around, or any holiday, they can
Hmm.
specifically change the reviews that they're showing on their website to
Huh.
only show the Mother's Day reviews. So the ones that pop up on the
Wow.
widget on the bottom left-hand corner, it could be it basically creates this inception type thing. So you're exactly
Yeah.
right. He could be asking for reviews and testimonials, but he can also do it based on the specific product they purchased and saying, how did you like this product specifically?
I'm thinking about a thing I've thought about with my mastermind group, the Redbeard Accelerator. where the three main things I'm really selling, though it's an accelerator to help you build your business faster, I'm really selling community, I'm selling helping you focus, and I'm selling being around action takers to go inspire you to take action. And so I'm thinking about if I had testimonials from my members that are, I could sort them into each of those three buckets when I say, what's the most you get out of this? And I have my sales page and I had a widget underneath each of those things talking about here's why you need more community focus and action, that the people whose testimonials, the clients, the members that are talking about community and why that's so important to them, we could have their commentary show up underneath the blurb about community. And the same thing for focus shows the focus testimonials and the action shows the action testimonials. Is that right?
You got it. And the great part about that is that you can control, because the reviews are collected on obviously other sources, but your ability to showcase them on your website, you control that. So we give an ID for every review, testimonial, and referral. And so you can actually take that ID and put it in the widget. And so you can specifically showcase by location, by whatever you want. You can showcase just the reviews or testimonials that you want to be on the website. And so you have full control over that.
Fascinating. For people who want this, where do they go buy?
Very simply, go to RevenueJump.com and you can fill out the information or request more information from us, and we'll connect you with one of our awesome and incredible partners, and they'll get you all set up and walk you through where you can make a massive and full impact in your not only in the revenue from generating from referrals, but also your social proof and your reputation online.
Wonderful. Folks, think about the constraints in your business, and is a happy client giving you more business? Is that one of your constraints? If it is, it may behoove you to spend some more time working on this part. And I fall in the trap, Cory, all the time of trying to make a better product, where if your product sucks, then yes, make a better product is a really good answer. But if your product is already good, then I'm going to make my product better, I'm going to make that website better is actually a waste of time. And usually there's some other constraint in your business. And I can really see how for both my accelerator, my COO services, for all that, heck, I could use this for the podcast, right? I could say, how was your experience on RevBeard Radio? I could ask you again, the week after your episode goes live. I could program that out there. So I tag you in Keap once you go live, and then it could ping you saying, hey there, how was your overall experience? What suggestions do you have for our team to improve our process? I hadn't thought of that one. And also, but the referral thing, who else should be on the podcast?
Yes.
Go share this link with them to go get on the podcast. Or who else do you think I should be on their podcast? Because that's my thing. Again, it's the constraint thing. I have amazing guests. I have a lot of them. That's not the problem with RevenueJump Radio. I was thinking about going to 5 days a week. And then I just realized, wait a minute, I have amazing guests. I already have plenty of them. I think the real constraint is me appearing on other people's podcasts. So if I use RevenueJump for all the people who've already been on, and then also every future guest, when your episode drops, you get an email that one of your emails you get says, hey there, who should I be on their podcast? Then you can introduce me. And if you're the kind of person, Cory, who already appears on other people's podcasts, if I asked you, hey, based on our conversation, who do you think I would be a good on their podcast? You might be able to just tell me. And that way I can grow the podcast at the point of the constraint. And that referral thing is the constraint for so many businesses, including, I don't know, every one of my clients and my companies. So I'm excited to go deploy this for Lenders Online Training and also for my podcast. So we're going to hop off the podcast, folks, so we can go ahead and get this thing started for RedBeard. Cory, so we got RevenueJump.com on social media. Where is the best place for people to follow your story?
Yeah, it's going to be, we have both Facebook and Instagram, so you can find us on both. And we are adding more and more content every single day. And the last thing I would add is we also allow you to track your competitors' reviews as well with Yelp and I believe it's Google. So the benefit with that is, again, you can see what others are doing. And if you're not sure, like if you need reputation management, if you're not sure if you need to like social proof, first thing I would do is go search your competitors. If you're a dentist or a doctor, go look at other dentists and doctors in the area, because I guarantee you people are driving by you to go to somebody that has a better review reputation.
Powerful stuff, Cory. Thank you for being on RedBeard Radio for time number 4.
Thank you.
Folks, that's RevenueJump.com. Take care.